Good day, mates. This is the Perceive of Awakening here, and I'm here today to make a video regarding a question my friend asked me the other day. And that question is, how do I overcome envy? I feel it, and I know it is wrong, but I cannot help it. I feel lesser for it. Now, the assertion that I'm going to make in this video is going to be based on mostly Eastern philosophical insight and maybe some Western philosophical insight. But first of all, I want to begin off by reading whatever I actually replied to his question. So this is what I answered him. I have the same question, but as far as I can entail my inner self's details, it's quite a tedious maze. I think if you delve more into Eastern philosophy, you might find the answer to that. It's a common human trait, so maybe you can't get rid of it. However, there are some who don't have envy at all. Please don't mind the background noise, I'm so sorry for that. The way I've come to combat it is by reminding myself to not feel so, but that's not the best of all solutions. It's like the pH level of an organism or compound. Once it exceeds a certain level, it'll denature. But for this case, the denature can be changed. You may have an issue with this, and so might I, but your diet and frequent lifestyle have a broad effect on it. Essentially, you're a product of it. A gain might not apply for every case. In my humble opinion, the best way to overcome the 7 deadly sins are to simply be still, be in the moment, be aware. Take a moment to stop putting labels, then just feel everything around you. Your body, your environment, the plants, if you have any in your surroundings, but more importantly, just let it be. Let it flow. Know what thoughts arise in your mind. Don't resist it. Just let it flow and let it be. So I'm assuming this really helped him, and I'm glad if it did. Now, well, the thing with overcoming envy is kind of an oxymoron, I would say, and also a paradox, of course. But I feel like Eastern philosophy so far, as much as I've read, it has conveyed a lot of help or aid or assistance regarding how to overcome your own sins, or, as one would refer to original sin, or, desires. I think Eastern philosophy helps to explicitly with that. I'm not saying that, Western philosophy does not do that. I'm just saying that Eastern philosophy helps you explicitly with that. Because, when it comes to Western philosophy, I feel like it's more so figurative. You have to, analyze, critically think about it, and just decipher the metaphors, then the imageries, the similes, and all these deep connections to the root. It's like reading a whole poetry book. And also when it comes to religions, Abrahamic religions, although I'm not a big advocate of it, I'm just saying that most of it we should not pay attention to it. But some of the texts that they have, it's really, really significant. And I mean really, if you go by Jesus' teachings, it actually makes sense. But if you go by what the Bible says, it's all actually pure bullshit. I mean, the same thing goes with every religion. Once you make a religion out of it, it just no longer stays pure. It's technically you have to put yourself in the quarantine zone, because once you're out of that zone, when you put yourself into that religion, you're technically putting yourself into it's an infected zone. That's what religions are. The teachings are pure, but once it gets turned into some sort of ideology or religion or organization, it just loses its purity. That's what happens. That's what I think is the issue with, sometimes finding yourself or trying to get rid of all your desires. You just try to attach yourself to something around you, like any sort of desire. It could be drugs, or just food. Could be getting into a love relationship. Could be anything. Could be just hanging around with some of your friends. Could be a video game. Could be a movie, entertainment, any sort of entertainment. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be just drugs or just alcohol or just your relationship. It could be anything. Like, addiction is not determined by the plant itself. Yes, the plant or drug does play an effect, but at the same time, your mind is what's playing the effect, because what you're really trying to get rid of is the pain you're suffering from reality, and for that, you're just latching yourself onto something that you think is going to get rid of that pain, whereas it's just going to attach you back to something else. Then you're gonna know later on there was a mistake, because what happened previously was a result of what's happening now. Well, not in time concept, but in that addiction concept. So envy, when you really envy someone, you just, it's like, as I've been reading Eckhart Tolle's book lately, called A New Earth Awakening, and in that book, he mentions clearly, we have this ego, we have all this ego stuffed into us. Whenever we want what someone else wants, we want to feel superior, or we don't want to feel inferior at all. The more dominance we have over someone, the more it satisfies us. But at the end of the day, we're not going to be satisfied. Of course, we're going to want more and more, and that's how envy works as well. That's how every 7 deadly sins work. Same goes for lust. Same goes for gluttony, and same goes for sloth. Every other 7 deadly sins. It will go the same way for that. Any way you desire, it's just going to, it's not going to be, you're never going to be satisfied. That's the thing with those 7 deadly sins. You're just never going to be satisfied. It's going to be a continuing cycle. The only way you can even get any form of happiness is to detach yourself from those 7 deadly sins. In my opinion, that's what I've observed so far. Not that I'm perfect, I'm still suffering. We are all humans. We will kind of suffer. Excuse me. But still, when you find yourself, you look into yourself, you stop seeing the world for what it is, and you start looking into yourself, into your own darkness, into your own void, and into somewhere where there's no light. And you start seeking yourself, and you build up the fire or light from the inside by looking into yourself. And as G.D. Krishnamurti said, meditation is stillness. It's being one with yourself. It's all about stillness, not any form of thought. And he also said that thought is one of the things that people worship a lot, because when we think so much, we just contaminate our minds with thought, with every form of thought. We just contaminate with desires, angry thoughts, envy. Then also, we want to lie. We keep lying to ourselves. That's truth. We all lie to ourselves on a daily basis. I do. I'll admit, I do, and I know you do too. Well, not that I know you do. You may be doing it to yourself. You may be. But, once you keep lying to yourself, there comes a point where you no longer know if you're actually lying to yourself, or if you just kind of make it your own reality. You're just no longer aware that you're actually lying to yourself. It just becomes your own reality. So the verdict is, my friends, that just find your own path. Just know that when you desire, you're going to be on a cycle of unsatisfaction. You're never going to be satisfied. And that's the harsh truth about desiring. Do what you want, but, in order to be happy, just make sure you be yourself and find yourself. Because no one else is going to do that for you. You have to do that. You have to look into yourself. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to hit that like button. And if you did not, please hit the dislike button. Well, it's up to you. And if you want to leave some thoughts, please make sure to do so in the comments below. I don't care if it's negative or whatever, I just want to hear your opinion. And, well, that's going to be it for this video. Good night, mates.